The thermistor is our simplest semiconductor component. Let's just look at the name first of all. Therm is heat, and the istor bit comes from resistor. So this is a resistor which is dependent on temperature. So its value, the value of resistance, changes with change in temperature or heat. Let's look at the symbols. They're based on resistors, and the symbol we've met before does something like that. There are different ways of identifying it, but it is reasonably clear. It could be, if we have a positive temperature coefficient, it might be written as plus T. If we have a negative temperature coefficient, it may be written as minus T. Alternatively, it may have by the side of it PTC, positive temperature coefficient, or it may have NTC. To identify these components, the manufacturers print a number on the side, and you then have to refer to a technical data sheet, and that will tell you the value. But these come in values from the preferred range, which was covered under resistors. So let's briefly look at that now. If we considered this a negative temperature coefficient thermistor, what does that mean? That means when the heat goes up, its resistance goes down. That's a negative coefficient. So when the heat goes up, resistance goes down. With a positive temperature coefficient, when the heat goes up, the resistance goes up. This is easier to manufacture, and it's the most common type available. So let's have a look. On this simple characteristic, this represents how the thermistor behaves with an increase in temperature. So if we look here, this pen is dying on me. So if we look here at room temperature, the thermistor has a resistance of 4.7 kiloohms. If the temperature increases, so the temperature is going this way, 25, 30, 40, whatever the temperature is, so the temperature increases, the resistance falls rapidly. That's what this characteristic tells us. So as the heat goes up, its resistance comes down. This one will do the opposite, and it will have a characteristic that will look something like this. It'll have a set value to start with the room temperature, and it will do something like that. If you're asked anything at all on these, it's almost certain to be a negative temperature coefficient that you're asked about, and they are commonly used in sensors for things such as tumble dryers, room thermostats, and the most common place they are used is inside motor casings to detect the heat or overheating of a motor, and it would then be used to trip out the motor breaker.